Hello everybody, today we're going to discuss about an important IV anesthetic agent, etomidate. So, introduction to etomidate. Etomidate is an IV anesthetic agent that is highly cardiostable. Etomidate is an imidazole derivative which is hydrophobic at physiological pH. Therefore, it has to be dissolved in either 35% propylene glycol or formulated as a lipid emulsion. It comes as a 0.2% solution. Now let's talk about the pharmacokinetics, that is, what the body does to the drug. It has a short distribution half-life of 2.7 minutes. Once the drug has been injected, its onset of action is 1 arm brain circulation time, that is approximately 30 to 45 seconds. Its termination of action is because of redistribution. The redistribution half-life is half an hour and its elimination half-life is 3 to 5 hours. Now, how is it metabolized in the body? It is by hepatic metabolism. It undergoes ester hydrolysis, and after that it is excreted from the kidneys, that is 85% of it, and some amount in the bile as well, 13%. A very small percentage of it only is excreted unchanged. Now it is a highly protein bound drug, that is 85% protein bound, and therefore in cases of cirrhosis where the protein content of the blood is less, it has a larger volume of distribution, but it must be kept in mind that its clearance rate as such does not decrease in these cirrhotic patients, but because of the larger volume of distribution, its elimination half-life is prolonged. Now let's talk about the pharmacodynamics. Let's take a system-wise approach to what effects it has on the body. Talking about the CNS. Now, how does it have its anesthetic action? It is via the GABA A receptor facilitation. That is, it increases the sensitivity of GABA A receptors to GABA. It acts as a facilitator. However, in higher doses, it has a direct action as well. It decreases the cerebral blood flow and it decreases the cerebral metabolic requirement of oxygen. But the decrease in the requirement of oxygen is more than its decrease in the blood flow. It maintains the cerebral perfusion pressure, or sometimes it can be increased as well. After a bolus dose has been given, it acutely decreases the intracranial pressure. It has been associated with grand mal seizures, and it causes an increase EEG activity in epileptogenic foci. This is a good thing for brain surgeries wherein mapping of the seizure foci is required. Now let's look at respiratory system. It has lesser effect as compared to other IV anesthetic drugs. It decreases the ventilatory drive, but not as much as other drugs as described before. There can be a brief period of hyperventilation followed by a brief period of apnea, and overall effect is a slight increase in the PaCO2, that is the arterial carbon dioxide concentration, but it does not affect the oxygenation of the blood. It has a special effect of eliminating the vasorelaxant tone of acetylcholine and bradykinin on the pulmonary vasculature, although it does not directly increase the pulmonary vascular tone. Now let's come to the important CVS effects of etomidate. Now, it is cardiostable. That is the reason why it is used in patients with poor cardiac reserve. It is said to be stable because it does not have an effect on the sympathetic nervous system, or it does not blunt the baroreceptor reflexes. Although it does activate the alpha adrenoceptors, which contributes to stable hemodynamics. It must be kept in mind that it maintains the supply to demand ratio and therefore can be used in ischemic heart disease patients. Also, what must be remembered is, unlike propofol, etomidate has no analgesic effects and it does not blunt the laryngoscopic response, and so must be supplemented with other drugs like opioids. Next, let's have a look at the important endocrine effect. It has a dose-dependent reversible inhibition of 11-beta hydroxylase, which is an enzyme involved in the production of cortisol and other glucocorticoids, as well as in the production of mineralocorticoids. Therefore, it causes adrenocortical suppression. This is very important to remember. Although it is said that a single dose will not be harmful in critically ill patients, the earlier use of etomidate as an infusion in critically ill patients was stopped after it was discovered that it causes cortical suppression, decreased production of cortisol therefore. Okay, now let's come to what is it used for now. Basically for induction of anesthesia. The dose has been given here, 0.2 to 0.6 milligrams per kg. Therefore, if it is a 60 kg man, you would probably give around 20 to 30 milligrams as an IV induction. Who are the patients where you will choose etomidate over other agents like propofol and ketamine? So, patients with cardiovascular disease such as ischemic heart disease, patients who are in cardiogenic shock, etc. It can be used in reactive airway disease as well. Even in patients with raised ICP, it can be used, as we described earlier how after a bolus there is acute decrease in the intracranial pressure. So induction of anesthesia is one. Because of its stable hemodynamics, it can be used in cardioversion patients. Also in trauma patients who have probably bled a lot and who are in hypovolemic shock. Again, because of its stable hemodynamics, it can be used for induction. One other use is in the treatment of endogenous hypercortisolemia. It is said that the adrenal suppression happens at a much lower dose than is required for hypnosis. Okay, now let's come to the side effects of etomidate. Unlike propofol, which has an antiemetic action, this causes postoperative nausea and vomiting. Like propofol, this too is painful while injection, but the lipid formulation is slightly better. It is associated with myoclonic movement, hiccups, etc. As we also saw, adrenocortical suppression. This is all for today, guys. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.